Good morning, Mission Church. My name is Ian Buckles, and I've been a Christian since I was young. I grew up in church. I'm blessed to have been married to my best friend Erica for almost 8 years, and our relationship has always been centered on prayer. In March of 2020, right before COVID, we were told by doctors that we wouldn't be able to get pregnant on our own. However, after 2 months of prayer and crying out, we miraculously got pregnant with our daughter Addison. She is truly a miracle child. Shortly after she was born, however, I was finding myself overcome with bitterness, anger, and anxiety rather than the joy we had expected and prayed for. I was regretting our daughter, frustrated, and had no patience for Addison or Erica. I began to seek counseling and wisdom to help me understand what I was feeling, and Pastor Tyler was willing to sit down and pray with me. I soon found myself dreaming day and night about escaping. I looked into how far I could drive during the hours my wife slept, how far I could get before anyone noticed. I thought they'd be better off without me. On Easter Sunday 2021, I was overcome by despair and darkness. For 2 days, I couldn't get out of bed, I couldn't eat, couldn't function. One night, I sat crouched, curled up in the ball next to our front door, crying for hours. My wife and my parents listening and praying with me. In the midst of a true miracle of life in our baby girl Addison, when I should have been celebrating and rejoicing, the enemy and depression were crushing me. I was in more pain and felt more isolated than I can describe. I was devastated and hated myself. How could I escape this feeling? That night by the front door, the thoughts of escaping by driving across the country shifted to thoughts and plans of suicide. The next day, my wife made the difficult decision to take me to the emergency room, where I was soon admitted to an inpatient facility for 3 days. For 72 hours, I wrestled with the Lord. How could I, a normal person, end up in a mental hospital? Where did I go wrong? Why do I hate myself? While I was in the hospital, my wife and my mom were literally marching circles around our house, declaring victory, redemption, and healing in my life. Erica declared it our Jericho house, where the walls of the enemy would come crashing down. As it says in Psalms 18, while the cords of the grave coiled around me, the stairs of death confronted me. In my distress, I called to the Lord. I cried to my God for help. From his temple, he heard my voice. My cry came before him into his ears. The Lord thundered from heaven. The voice of the Most High resounded, and he shot his arrows, scattering the enemy. Mission Church, today, Easter Sunday, 2 years later to the day, I am able to declare that while the enemy thought he had me, Jesus said, "Ian, you are mine." He heard the cries of my wife, my parents, and myself, and he scattered depression and thoughts of suicide. I still have good days and bad days, days where I still actively battle for my mental health. The remedy has involved hours of professional counseling, medication, and being planted in community. Ultimately, the remedy is Jesus. I don't know your story or pain, but I do know that the Lord is running and seeking after you, and he hears your cries. The same Lord that lifted Christ from the grave has brought me back to life and given me a second chance. Happy Easter, Mission Church.